All right, Cap. So this isn't too bad. I think that some of you, though, may be feeling very unsupported by people around you when it comes to the choices that you're making in your life, the things that you are trying to create, especially in terms of business or, creative endeavors. But there's going to be a breakthrough, and I think it's just what you need. It's going to be the right type of support that's going to come through. So enlightenment, inspiration, epiphany, and innovation, and then you have rejection. So rejection is spirit's protection. There's a reason why there is this feeling of being unsupported, and it's because I believe that the people that are around you are not the right people to support you in a certain endeavor. And that's important to say. There is something very specific that I think that a lot of you are trying to create, especially, creatively here with rejection, because I keep looking at this artist, and having his artwork rejected. And I think that a lot of you may be experiencing that. But enlightenment is talking about a breakthrough in your way of thinking. But I do think that this is like unforeseen help that may be coming through. But for a lot of you, if you have been experiencing rejection, this is going to be, that mental clarity that you need. That's going to show you how your actions have been leading you to this rejection. Not that it's deserved. It's just these are the wrong people. It's the wrong situations, right? But I do think that something is going to be coming through for you that's going to make things a little bit better. All right, Capricorn, here we go. Here's your overall, the star. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, in the feeling that I'm getting from this, with this being the overall, is that considering rejection, I think a lot of you have been through a lot of setbacks, a lot of difficulties, and there is this feeling of needing to have hope restored in your dreams and your goals, right? But this could be the healing of a situation for a lot of you. You're doing what is necessary here to gain some emotional balance and, dumping out the negative emotions, so to speak, with the star. But it's good. It's perfect. Okay. In the past, the Knight of Cups. So, and we'll see. We'll see. I love him, but I don't. I've always said that about the Knight of Cups. This could be about somebody coming through and making this emotional offer to you. But what's interesting to me is that your emotions may have been drained by this, and you may have needed to do some healing. And I don't feel like this is something that is continuing for you with the star. I think that, the bigger picture is being revealed to you in terms of, what is really gonna bring you the kind of fulfillment that you're wanting here. But I do think that the Knight of Cups is showing somebody from the past that may be coming through wanting to offer you something here, especially emotionally. It could be a love interest. But what I worry about here with the star is if this person didn't follow through on promises. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yep. So in the present, the Ace of Cups. So nothing here is bad. I just feel iffy a little bit about the Knight of Cups, but with the Ace of Cups, we are talking about a new beginning for you. And again, emotional fulfillment. Something that's going to make you happy and whole. But the bigger picture is being revealed with the star, and that's what I find interesting about this. But the Ace of Cups is beautiful, and I think that that's yours either way, whether it's coming from another person or not. Especially if you've had to do a lot of healing. And this may be a better offer coming through, though, too. But this is all emotional. I mean, even with the star, I'm looking at the water, like, yeah. Future conditions, the Six of Cups. Interesting. So, and I have to wonder if this isn't the breakthrough that, you may have been, waiting on in terms of someone, specific here. Because this is emotional. And with the Knight of Cups, yeah, we are talking about romantic in nature. He is the messenger of romance. I mean, come on, And I don't think that this is the action that you have taken in the past. I think that this is what is coming toward you. But you're in a place of having to heal some things from the past here. But I think that there are very, good memories in terms of this. But the past will be coming up in the future. in regards to a new beginning here, possibly having to do with love. It's interesting. Your best path to follow, the Emperor. Here's what I want to say about this. I always look at the Emperor and I think, who is in control? And it's not that direct action is required by you. I don't think that that's it. I just think that, you know, you need to feel a little bit more in control of how things are going to be moving forward. I think that it's going to be important for it to be in your hands rather than another person, especially if they're trying to offer you, you know, this new beginning here with this Ace of Cups. You know, let's refill this. Let's restart this. It's still a really beautiful thing, you know, but I feel this need to be in control of what is going on with the Emperor. And that immediately makes me think that maybe you have given up control to someone else before. And it's caused you to have to do, you know, some serious healing with the Star. But, you know, we are talking about hope being restored in the situation too. But I still feel this need to dump out some negative emotions and let it go. It's like letting the earth take it. Yeah. In your environment, the Two of Swords. Do I or don't I? It's there for you. It is. And it's not just whether or not you accept this. It's also about, you know, things that maybe you can't ignore anymore, especially in regards to someone else's actions. You know, but there is a choice that is going to be required here, and it is a little bit difficult. But the past is going to play a part in the future. Oh, please forgive me, guys. And then I look back at rejection and think, you know, this may be somebody who has rejected you time and time again. That, or you've rejected them. But regardless, you know, there's this opportunity to be happy right now. But a difficult choice is going to be required. You know, do I or don't I? Oh, yeah. Okay. Your hopes and your fears, the King of Wands. I always look at the kings as external. So this definitely points to some fears and hopes surrounding a person here, and whether or not they are taking action from a place of wisdom because of it being a king. But there's also, you know, the passion there with the King of Wands, right? The man of passion and action. You know, and then you have Aries showing up. I think that a lot of you are hoping that, you know, past situations are healed, and that, you know, your person here, whether they're male, female, possibly fire, like I said, Aries, it's hoping that, you know, they're coming from a place of better maturity, better understanding. You know, the King of Wands is not necessarily known to commit, but, you know, I don't know. And I have to wonder if something didn't happen in the past in regards to their actions that make you question on whether or not, you know, this is the right thing to do. I mean, regardless here, it doesn't matter, Cap. That's what I want to say to you when it comes to the Ace of Cups, if it's coming from someone else or not. It's still a new beginning that is for you. It just, you know, depends on the choice that you're making surrounding this. Are you going to find happiness with yourself and healing with yourself? Or, you know, are you going to accept this offer coming through to you and possibly try to refill or restore some emotions? And I say that because of the Six of Cups preceding this, because clearly there is history here. And something has happened in the past in terms of somebody's actions with this Knight of Cups. And I feel like broken promises. But it looks like this is somebody who's wanting to restore things with you. But like I said, with the Emperor here, it's more about you being in control, you know, and not giving up so much of that to this person that you may be dealing with. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They are trying to make things right with you. Justice. And this is having to do with the past and the past actions. You know, this may be somebody that's coming through trying to restore things with you. Now, you know, it doesn't have to be love, but come on, you know, especially with the King of Wands here. And it's funny because I always notice this with Capricorn, that there's always this like lingering fire sign. And Aries seems to stand out for you a lot. But What I like here, especially with the star being the overall, is with justice, things are being corrected in a way where it brings hope, healing, harmony, and balance to you. And then the Hierophant. All right, so if there are other people involved, because of the Three of Cups showing up, this is going to be, especially with the Two of Swords, you know, not being able to make a choice on accepting this until you know for sure that other influences are out of the way. But I also look at this as support, right? The Three of Cups doesn't always have to be third-party situations, although it can be. But we are talking about a situation that is going to be corrected. I think it's somebody else that's coming through to you, trying to restore a relationship with you, or wanting you to at least, you know, get to a place where there are better emotions surrounding them and what they may have done in the past. But with the Page of Cups, right, like this is where I feel like maybe these broken promises are coming in, because you're talking about, you know, the naive type of energy here. They maybe didn't really think about how they felt, but we're also talking about the communication of emotions. But I really think that this person is pushing for things to be restored within you. I don't think it's a question of them not feeling a certain way, because again, you're the one that is needing to have, you know, fairness and balance here and some healing. But, you know, like I said, with the Three of Cups here, this is one of those things that you can't accept if there are other people involved. But I also feel like in terms of the Three of Cups, if we're going to be celebrating this, then there are, you know, some things here that have to change. Like this person needs to be more supportive toward you. But I don't necessarily feel like a bad thing, but we are talking about whether or not this person is going to be committed. But with justice, it looks like it does. It looks like they're making a stronger commitment, rather than coming from a place of, you know, not really being able to follow through on what they're promising you. And it looks good. It looks good. But the past is an issue, and it is something that is going to have to be healed. But like I said, it's more specifically about this person's actions and what they may have done, because I feel like you're not showing that they let you down. And that's the thing. And even if they have, you're already in a place where it's like, I've done the healing that I needed to do. Do I really want to accept this? You know what I mean? Now, if this is about business partnerships, this may be, you know, the news that you have been waiting to hear. And there may definitely be an offer coming through, but this may be from the past where things didn't exactly go the way you wanted them to, which is why you're needing to remain in control. There's the question of whether or not this is the right opportunity to take. But it does look like, you know, if you are working with somebody, there's the support and celebration that's going on here, and a stronger commitment and fairness and balance in the situation. But yeah, I think that most of you are going to be dealing with somebody who is trying to make things right with you. And truth, oh yeah. And you know what's funny is that when I picked up the pile here, what was underneath was stuck. So I think that, you know, and again, I kind of look back at enlightenment and look at the crown chakra and think that this is divine inspiration coming through, that you need to trust in that for sure. You need to be open to, you know, this information, these downloads that are coming through that are giving you this assurance. But it is truth. And I also think that you need truth. That is what you need, you know, but this is like needing to be open to being divinely guided to, you know, a truth that I think is going to bring, like I said, this assurance. You know, because this is the universe saying that it's okay, Cap. You're okay. But I think that you would feel better if you were in control here this time. Okay, and Desert Passage. Trust there is a divine plan. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. But Desert Passage, this is saying that there isn't really a whole lot going on. It feels like a barren situation, but the thing is once you get past this, you're reaching your destination here. And with the star, it's exactly where you want to be, you know? But it's going to seem like things are just barren for a while, you know, but you need to continue. You need to continue on this path and kind of like see it through. You know, what I want to say here is don't be too quick to make a decision where it's like an absolute no. You know, I want to give this person the benefit of the doubt, because we're not really focused on the super bad or super negative here. They just may have been a little bit flaky, you know what I mean? But you are going to reach that destination that you're hoping for with this situation.